had been about a year and a half or two since I had even semi-consistently watched NXT. So last week when I tuned into the 2-hour live NXT Arrival show, it was striking to me the differences and the changes in the product and the presentation. It's this Triple H's baby, and to me, it's made a world of difference, and it has really, really made this something that I actually want to watch, because I actually like this whole concept of NXT being presented kind of as the farm league of the WWE, which is what it is, but it's a chance for you to be able to sit there and watch some of the guys that could potentially be bigger players down the road. You become familiar with them, and at the same time, those guys get familiar with the pressures of having to perform for a WWE audience. Now they're not just sitting there and doing it at the old NXT arena, whatever the hell that dumpy warehouse was. They're a Full Sail University. It feels like a ROH show, only better and much more well produced. And it gives these guys, these performers, a chance to actually grow as performers and start to get their feet wet with performing under the pressures of the WWE kind of microscope. And it gives them a chance to perform to bigger audiences. That's one of the most striking changes I've seen in the NXT model between now and when I watched it before a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I don't think it's any consequence, combining that with an actual better eye for talent, but the fact that you've recently had characters come up from NXT in the past year plus, guys like Cesaro and Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Like I said, the eye for talent has gotten better, I think, in terms of the male wrestlers at least, but the character concepts, the gimmick concepts have gotten so much better, and I think they're doing a better job of preparing these guys for the big show. And that's one thing that stands out to me with NXT here, even though this week's show wasn't all that particularly great to me. Now, I do like how they followed up last week's NXT Arrival show with Adrian Neville. Now, some might say, did we really need the match here against Camacho? I'm going to sit there and say that's okay because you're spotlighting and featuring your champion. But I really wonder if you needed that promo segment with this NXT champion. Oh my God. I understand the concept of the only way you're ever going to get better at something is practice and repetition and to keep doing it and sometimes falling flat on your face and failing before you ultimately become good at it. And that's apparently what Adrian Neville here did. Oh my God, that was bad. He needs some major promo work. Major. I guess the other thing I don't understand about Adrian Neville, he's supposed to be the man that gravity forgot or whatever the hell, but he didn't seem to do a lot of high-flying stuff except for his finisher here. If you're going to use that kind of moniker, that kind of axiom, or whatever you want to call it, that nickname, that buzzword to help make him stand out, then maybe he should actually live up to that, and we should see more of that. I don't know. But the whole thing of Bo Dallas coming out and interrupting his promo segment, frankly, by the time after that match and Neville's terrible promo and then Bo Dallas coming out, I'm like, oh God, let's just move on to something else, please. The Divas match with Charlotte and Emma taught me a few things. Number one, the WWE has a lot of divas at NXT with flat asses. Flat asses. Stiff as a board, light as a feather, I guess you'd say. My goodness. That was glaringly obvious to me watching this match. The promo stuff beforehand with Charlotte interrupting both Emma and Paige made me realize that these divas need a lot of work, both in terms of acting skills and actual ability to cut a decent promo on the mic. At least, thank God, Ric Flair was there with his daughter, so that way somebody could actually come across as credible. You could just see it was glaring the difference between his comfort level and hers. Now, I understand in part that this is a developmental territory, and this is where guys are supposed and girls are supposed to be learning, and they get better. They're not going to be as good as when they get to the big stage. But like I said, it was glaring to me just how bad these divas are when it comes to their acting. Horrible, horrible. They need some acting classes. They need some mic work classes. They need some promo cutting classes. The match here between Charlotte and Emma was okay. I like what they did with Charlotte here, trying to kind of play off of her dad being the dirtiest player in the game, and she's supposed to be the dirtiest diva in the game. I kind of always been a fan of Sasha Banks, so it was cool to see her. And I liked the finish of this match where she faked the ankle injury and ended up beating Emma. That was good shit. So from a character standpoint, that was good. I love how they're trying to give her a rub from her dad. That sounded very bad. No more about this. Let's move on. I understand a lot of you are very upset because you liked Leo Kruger. And you liked the Leo Kruger character. Well, too bad, tough shit, because Adam Rose is fucking awesome. Period. This was incredible. I wanted to see what Adam Rose is going to be all about. Oh, baby, you're boring me. It kind of reminded me of Prince from the Dave Chappelle show. This bores me. Do you want to play some basketball? Fucking Adam Rose was awesome. And that entrance was outstanding. You can sit there and talk all you want about Leo Kruger this and Leo Kruger that. Well, Leo Kruger left, right, straight down your throat and up your ass. I don't care. That wasn't getting to the main roster anytime soon. And clearly, it didn't. Adam Rose, on the other hand, is outstanding. And the whole concept of the Rosebuds and having this whole party and celebration is fucking outstanding. I love Adam Rose. That is instantly my favorite performer in character at the NXT level right now, period. After one show, after one kind of vignette, after one match, one entrance, that is my favorite character on NXT. Even if some point in time I stop watching NXT, I will make sure whenever I find out that Adam Rose is going to be on the show, that I'm going to watch that show. This is a future WWE character. So as far as I'm concerned, if you don't like what they did by getting rid of the Leo Kruger character, that's just too damn bad. Your main event for this week's NXT was actually set up earlier in the show when Corey Graves was scheduled to take on Yoshitatsu. Hashtag save Yoshitatsu. You remember that? Hashtag save Yoshi? Hell yeah, I remember that. I wonder who started that one. Anyways, so Corey Graves sits there and takes on Yoshi, ends up beating him down and everything else. And he starts talking shit about Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn comes out and issues a challenge, so they end up having the match at the end of the night. Now, as I'm sitting there and watching the match, and I'm sitting there watching Corey Graves, I'm like, and I'm listening to him earlier before he wrestled Yoshitatsu, and he's cutting the promo. I'm like, you know, this guy has potential. I can see it. But I don't get what the fuck his character is supposed to be, frankly. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell he's supposed to be. And to me, it's like, I don't even know if they really fully know. You know, the whole, he's wearing all these tattoos and shit, but he's wearing fucking tight mom jeans and all this other garbage. I just didn't get it. I don't get it with Corey Graves. And to me, when I look at him and I compare him to, let's say, a Sami Zayn, I see a Sami Zayn who's about this close to actually being WWE roster ready and being able to have an actual spot on the WWE roster and be a contributor. Sami Zayn was somebody that when he came over, being El Generico, who everybody knows I wasn't a huge fan of, I wasn't really sure how he was going to evolve and change as a performer to fit the WWE style, and I have to give him a lot of credit. He's really worked hard, it seems like, and really has done a good job of making himself into a viable future WWE performer. And that was something that really stood out to me here in this match with Corey Graves and Sami Zayn. Corey Graves, a kid that I do see some talent in, I do see some potential in, but I don't think the WWE is going about getting it out of him the right way, and I'm not sure he's anywhere close, really, frankly, to being main roster ready, as opposed to Sami Zayn, who's getting a lot out of what he's doing, who's made some tremendous strides, who's made some big improvements, and has made himself a much more well-rounded performer, in my opinion, and making himself now, to me, pretty much it's not a matter of if, but when and how soon he'll be up on the main roster. I would have to think that sometime shortly after WrestleMania 30 would be the time to bring him up, because I can't really envision that much more that he's going to learn at the NXT level at this point. So as far as this show this week, wasn't all that great to me, honestly, frankly. However, it's only an hour. So that's always a good thing. Even if I'm not particularly enjoying it, it's only an hour. And this hour did go by really, really quickly. And if anything else, they gave me Adam fucking Rose, which was top 10 awesome. And they gave me Xavier Woods, cutting a promo backstage on Alexander Rusev, talking about him being an Ivan Drago wannabe, and he's like the Creed. Consequences, Creed? That's all I'm going to say. Hope you enjoyed this NXT review. I'll be back next week to do another one. Up yours, Mr. Parkin. You might have done it first, but I do it better because that's what the Schleg Daddy does, brother.